Hi, everyone. This is Bowen Yang.
And I'm Matt Rogers,
co-host of the podcast Las Culturistas. And with a tough year coming to a close, we're inviting you to treat yourself with the gift of pleasure.
Oh, yes. Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Ribbed has a unique design that actually lets you feel the pleasure, not the condom.
That's all I've ever wished for on my birthday.
Scorpio Queen, horned up king. And with ultra smooth premium lubricant and extra deep ribs to increase stimulation, both partners are sure to experience ecstasy.
So before the year ends, pick up some Trojan Ecstasy Ultra Ribbed condoms, triple tested and trusted for over 100 years.
Trojan, feel your best. Get yours on.
Welcome back to In the Zone, your afternoon drive companion. And now, let's send you back to the studio with your host, Brandon Kravitz.
Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. Walking around Christmas tree and
The Fantasy Fix comes your way this Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m. right here on FM 96.9 The Game. And in fact, it is the season finale for the Fantasy Fix. So we get you ready for your first playoff game, and then you're on your own. We will fly like fledgling birds leaving the coop. And hopefully we've helped you get there. Answer all of your fantasy questions, updates on injuries, and some last-minute waiver ideas as well. That's 10 to 11 a.m. with myself and Zach Blobner, who will join us today at 4 o'clock. Now, all of a sudden, the Jags job is open, and I know many will disagree with this, but I think this is a hot commodity job. It sure doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it right now. But let's not forget, the almighty Urban Meyer came out of retirement when he could have had any job he wanted in college, and those jobs pay pretty well. He was rumored for bigger jobs in the NFL for years, that he was going to take the Cowboys job and other places like that, and he wound up taking the Jags job, and he did it for one reason: Trevor Lawrence. So everybody's going to look at this job, and they're going to blame the lack of progression from Lawrence on Urban Meyer.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how coaches will view this, which means the commodity level for this job is unchanging, and I think this is going to be one where those assistants, the hot assistant that kind of has his pick of the litter, is going to look at this and say, this is the opportunity worth jumping in. And, I mean, these players that are on the team now, I don't know if you still want them, because I don't know that the rest of those guys are all that good, but they're going to be bought into whoever comes in as long as they are an adult and, know how to handle themselves, unlike the guy who just left. So, with all of that said, with this job being in high demand and there being a lot of good names out there that could be hired, I have put together the definitive top 5 list of who the Jags should look at first. Let's get to it. No? Okay. That's where I was expecting the number one, but no, we're not going to do that.
That's
all right,
you're
number
expecting,
one.
You're expecting number one? You said you have 8, though.
No,
you have top 5.
Definitive top 5 is a list of 5.
There you go.
Number 1.
Byron Leftwich has to be number 1. He's been an offensive coordinator under Bruce Arians since 2019. He's got the respect of Tom Brady. He's smart, well-liked. He was successful in the NFL as a quarterback in his own right, and yes, he played with the Jags back in the mid-2000s, but I don't care about that. That's the last reason that he should be considered here. People are going to put two and two together. That kind of stuff is a college mentality. He should be considered because he's an offensive-minded, smart coach that has credentials. He's on the rise, and he's ready for an opportunity like this.
Do you think he wants that position? Because the thing that I worry about with a guy like Byron Leftwich and some of these other top-tier offensive coordinators is, do they want to leave where they are, which is headed to a championship, to go build are they ready to leave where they are to go build their own thing yet?
I mean, that'll be, if they decide to look the way of Byron Leftwich, that'll be the decision that he has to make. But I think you have to strike while the iron's hot. And a lot of guys don't get into coaching because they want to be coordinators. They get in because they want to be head coaches. So if you have the opportunity, then you got to jump at it, especially if there's a quarterback that's already on the team that you think has a lot of upside, and you could be the one that helps him reach his potential. But yeah, we've seen that from coaches before. Josh McDaniels, Eric Bieniemy, that kind of just like don't move because they're in a good spot. So that definitely happens.
He was the biggest name that I saw all morning and all day last night after Urban got hit. It was all Byron Leftwich and nobody else.
Well, because we're in the state of Florida, and everybody has the college mentality. It's well, he played at Jacksonville. It doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. That should not factor in 1% to a decision about Byron Leftwich. That's a nice coincidence, and it'll make great headlines. But if you're the Jags, that shouldn't be a factor at all.
Number 2.
Eric Bieniemy, I mean, obviously, he's on every list. He's been on every list for the last 3+ seasons. He's Andy Reid's right-hand man, and I don't know why he doesn't have a head coaching job yet. But honestly, I think part of it might be what Stefan was just saying. Just kind of like waiting for the perfect opportunity. He's in a good spot, so why jump if you don't have to? But Lawrence, with his ability, what we perceive his ability to be, coupled with Eric Bieniemy's offensive guru status, that could be pretty magical. So I like that idea.
Number 3.
I have. Oh, how about this one? Byron Leftwich's coworker. How about Todd Bowles, another guy from the Bucs staff? Someone's got to hire somebody from this all-star staff that they've put together in Tampa. Bowles is a defensive-minded coach, so there are going to be a lot of people that think they have to go offense. But look, the Jags, if you look at the totality of their roster, the majority of their talent is on the defensive side. I actually think that they profile to be a better defensive team in the near future than an offensive team. And so you could hire Todd Bowles and make sure that he gets a good coordinator, offensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach to work with Trevor Lawrence. But Bowles is the kind of guy that they need. I mean, he's kind of like that gruff, professional, disciplinarian. Don't let his bad years with the Jets dilute your opinion of what Todd Bowles is. I think he's an incredible coach.
Number 4.
I've got Eric Bieniemy. No, I already said Eric Bieniemy. How about Mike Zimmer? Okay, I know that he coaches the Vikings currently, but it sure does feel like things have sort of run their course in Minnesota. I think for the Vikings, they need a fresh coat of paint at quarterback. They need a new head coach, and if Zimmer is out there to be had, he's still a damn good coach, and he's a really good culture guy. I think the Jags could get from Zimmer what they were trying to get in bringing back Tom Coughlin. So Mike Zimmer is somebody, you're not going to see him out there on many lists, but I think he's somebody to think about if Minnesota does move off of him. He should be a head coach in the NFL.
Number 5.
How about Nathaniel Hackett? This is my sleeper candidate. Hackett is familiar with the Jags organization. He's even had some success there. He survived Gus Bradley's termination back in 2016. Doug Marrone kept him on the staff and then actually gave him a promotion to offensive coordinator. Hackett managed to help get the Jags to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles as his quarterback in 2017. That has to be worth something. And then he was, of course, unceremoniously fired less than a year later. And I like the system that they run in Green Bay. I think that could work really well for what Trevor Lawrence should be able to do, the personnel that the Jags currently have. Think about what Green Bay is. They run that 2-back system. They've got Aaron Jones catching passes out of the backfield and then a bruiser in A.J. Dillon. That's what Travis Etienne and James Robinson should be, and it makes life a whole lot easier on Aaron Rodgers. So if you could kind of work that kind of system back at Jacksonville with a guy that knows what kind of mess he's getting into because he's already worked for the Jags before and he's been successful there, I think that one makes a lot of sense. Here are some guys that were not on my top 5 list that you're going to see on lists everywhere, and I'm just not in it. Josh McDaniels.
Yes, he's on everybody's list.
I think he's a career coordinator. He's great at what he does, but he's tried the head coach thing before. He just kind of feels lost without Bill Belichick. Kellen Moore is out there. He's going to be on a bunch of lists.
Whole lot of lists.
I'm just not all that impressed with what I see from Dallas's offense. I think it's kind of vanilla, and so I think I don't know why he gets so much credit when their offense is kind of
stalled.
It's stalled. Yeah, they kind of is that what it says on the screen? Yeah, I mean, no, it definitely has. It feels like it's sort of flatlined. Doug Peterson's a name that you're going to see out there. I think that'll be a fine hire, but I almost thought that was too obvious, and he feels like a retread, even though he's won a Super Bowl. I definitely would not. That would not be a mistake if they hired Doug Peterson.
Right.
I just don't like going the retread route. And then Luke Fickell's a name that I've seen out there. The Jags absolutely, positively cannot hire a college coach. Even though Luke Fickell's much more buttoned up than Urban Meyer is, they just cannot go that route. So we've got Austin Gale from PFF.com. He's ready to hop on next to preview this epic duel in L.A. that we're going to see tonight between Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. So stick around for that. Look, I feel so much less stress now, especially heading into the holiday season. Getting that at-home checklist taken care of can be such a huge relief, and a faulty AC system can be one of the biggest stressors as a homeowner. Mills Air gave me the reassurance that I needed. I highly suggest you call the best in town when you're ready to upgrade your existing unit, or if you need help with a repair. I'm talking about Mills Air. They've been in business since 1992. That's 29 years of great service right here in our Central Florida community. They can help keep you cool the same way that they've done for me and my family. Go ahead and ask about their Carrier unit. Get over $1,200 in rebates when you do. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always rely on the family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call today to schedule your appointment. It's 407-277-1159, and find them online at millsair.com.
Hey, do you love a good story? Great. Then you got to check out the #Storytime podcast. Each episode brings you the craziest, creepiest, and cringiest stories from YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and beyond.
My story is about the time that I was broken up with at the 9/11 memorial. Twice.
Look, the internet is a dumpster full of stories, and I, your host, Will McFadden, dive in headfirst, sift through the flaming trash, and bring you nothing but treasures. Listen to all 21 episodes of #Storytime now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.